All right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, y'all? Okay, we are finally getting this gravy train going. I'm about 4 minutes behind schedule, but we're learning Zoom. Hey, we're going to have a great class. We're going to have a great time together. I want to send a super duper shout out to Kathy Austin. Guys, this is the special Ben presentation that I promised to do. I promised Kathy that I would do this months ago. And here we are, baby. We're doing it. So thank you so much, Kathy Austin, for putting this together and
My
for being
pleasure.
such a wonderful, just a wonderful person in general.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you, Nolly.
We
Okay.
thank you for all you do. And you volunteer your time. Just like, I mean, we all do. We're givers, right? We love to give back. So thank you for everything you do. We appreciate it.
Absolutely my pleasure.
You bet. Okay, so what we're going to do today, guys, is oh, by the way, before we get started, let me just let you know that there's a way to mute yourself and unmute yourself. Now, when you came into the call today, you should be muted, but there's a microphone in the left corner of your toolbar that if you have to unmute yourself and ask a question, be sure to do that. You can unmute yourself. You can put anything in the chat box because I'm going to be checking the chat throughout this while we're meeting together. And we are recording, so you'll have a recorded copy. We're going to go for 90 minutes, guys. 90 minutes. So my plan today is that I want to do a presentation, and I want to share with you as much as I can the secrets that have helped me to take over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in real estate. I want to share as much as I can, and then I'm going to allow you guys to just ask whatever questions you have. Okay, so it's going to be like an ask me anything. So you guys can have fun with that. You know, remember to start writing your questions down, the kind of questions that you might want to ask me later on when we get to that point. So, and Karina says, thanks a million, Kathy. You bet. Thank you, Kathy. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen and then I'm going to pop up. We're going to get this PowerPoint going. And if I need to, I'll come kind of back and forth from the PowerPoint. But this is success with listings. Okay, success. Let me close one other thing here. If you guys have something to tell me while we're doing this, all right, just go ahead and put it in the chat and I'll get to it as well. So this is success with listings. I love to teach, train, coach, mentor. It's just what I love to do. You know, it's what God wired me for. And by the way, we're going to let the Holy Spirit show up today. It's no problem with me. You know, I was like, okay, this morning I'm thinking, okay, should I polish up my presentation? So I polished it. And then I said, you know what, but I'm just going to allow God to show up and shine because I came with a special word for you, a special word for you. You know, if you've been struggling in the listing business, or even if you're doing great, this particular class that we have together is going to make you even do greater. And if you've been struggling, look, you can put that to rest. We're gonna crush that from this point on. So just a little bit about me. You know, I've launched multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses. I'll talk a little bit about that today. Sold over 1,000 houses during my first 10 years in real estate. I retired at age 45. It's something that a lot of people don't know about me. And I'm now dedicated to mentoring agents for free. Okay. Now, what's this thing about you retired? I had a guy the other day. He said, man, I know you ain't retired. Boy, I see you doing all kinds of stuff. Well, when I was 45 years old, God blessed me with the ability to pay off my house. And I did. I took the opportunity. And at the time, I had been teaching, training, coaching. This was 5 years ago. So I paid off my house and I said, you know what? I don't want to be a slave to the system anymore because I got to tell you guys, and this is God's honest truth. A lot of people, a lot of my coaching clients, and I've coached thousands and tens of thousands of agents over the years. A lot of them are living in what I call organized slavery. Okay. And it's time for us to break free of that cycle. We do not have to be part of the systematic cycle that is still in play in the USA. We can break free from it and we can live whatever life that we want to live. We can live at the level we want to live at. Okay. So what I do every day, I get up and I say, okay, where am I going to play today? God, where do you want me to play today? okay? And that's the freedom. And I want each and every one of you to be debt free as well. We're going to talk about that a little bit today here as well. So here's my goal with this presentation is to help three kinds of business owners, three kinds of real estate agents. And number one, I call this the newbie Ned, okay? So Ned is in his first few years of business and is not quite meeting his goals. Ned needs to get his feet under him and is confused about what to do to generate steady business. Now, notice this when you look at this. So when you look at newbie Ned, his big problem is what? Okay, that's his big problem. Now let's keep going. Coasting Crystal. This is another kind of client that I work with. Now, Coasting Crystal, she's been in business for some time and she's gained a clientele and is coasting at a semi-steady business, okay? Now, Crystal needs to maximize her impact and income to move from feast or famine mode and is confused about how to do this, okay? So newbie Ned, his problem is what? And Coasting Crystal, her problem is how. Knolly, how do I do it? How am I going to do it? How are we going to get to the next level? That's her issue. Now, then we've got Rockstar Rick. Okay, now Rick is on fire. He's making good money and is constantly looking for ways to grow his personal and his business life. Now, Rick desires to grow his business, and his biggest issue is knowing who to hire or partner with so that he can grow to his ultimate potential. So look at this, guys. In your business right now today, where do you identify? Okay, are you newbie Ned? Are you Coasting Crystal? Or are you Rockstar Rick? And you can see here, when you look at these, every single level, like they say, new level, new devil, right? Every single level has a different issue to tackle, okay? By the way, I hope you guys brought some notes with you, because Uncle Knolly, boy, when I start to when I start to get with it, we're going to be learning some things. We're going to be learning some things together. A lot of times I have to actually go back and listen to the material to see what I actually speechified about. But you know, you're going to be at one of these levels. Okay, you're either a newbie Ned, a Coasting Crystal, or you're a Rockstar Rick. And I don't care where you are. Okay, we can do better. We can be better. And we can reach our ultimate greatness. We can reach beyond where we currently are. Now, if I'm guessing correctly, most of you are either the newbie Ned or the Coasting Crystal. I got to tell you, so many real estate agents just coast. Okay, and what coasting looks like, let me break this down for you. So newbie Ned doesn't know nothing. He's just trying to find if his head is on. Oh yeah, my head's still on, you know. Now you remember now, if you're not a newbie Ned now, don't laugh too hard, because you remember when you were a newbie Ned, brand new in the business, trying to get your shine on, and trying to figure out, you know, trying to get help, trying to figure out your way. Now, Coasting Crystal. Now obviously you know you're newbie Ned because you're new in the game. Okay, and I ask people all the time. I say, hey, are you new in the business? And I say, raise your hand if you're new in the business when I teach classes. And a lot of people raise their hand. And what I tell people that are new, if you're new listening to this, don't admit it. Okay, now you can tell Uncle Knolly, it's no problem. You can tell me, it's no problem. But don't go around advertising to people that you're new. Why? Because nobody cares. They just don't, okay? When I first got in the real estate business and I got my business cards made, the very first business card that I got printed, it said my title, okay? It didn't say mega agent, nothing like that. It didn't say real estate agent. It said listing specialist, okay? I was just write that down for a minute. Listing specialist, write that down. Now imagine that on your business card, listing specialist, okay? I decided right out the gate that I was gonna go after listings. And by the way, I got to tell you, I'm hearing a whole lot of a lot of crap out there where people are talking about, or I hear other coaches and they're saying, "Oh, well, you're new in the business. You need to join a team. You need to do this. You need to do that." Guess what? That might be true, and then again, it might not. See, I never joined a team. I went straight after listings, and now I'm hearing people say, oh, don't do listings right away. Start with open houses. Then you start working with buyers. Then you eventually you get to a listing. No, I started out the gate with listings. In fact, my first week in the business, I took listings. I took during my first 74 days in real estate, I took 21 listings. Okay. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because it's all about building your confidence, building your belief. Because nobody told me I couldn't take listings, and so I didn't have that. I was unfettered. Okay. And a lot of times people will try to put shackles on you that do not belong. Now, it might be true that you need to join a team. It might be true that you need to start with open houses. It might be true that you need to start with buyers, but don't assume that that's the case, because I didn't do it that way. I started with listings out the gate. Okay. Right out the gate. All right. So let me get back to sharing, because I'm getting you guys are getting me excited here. So now one last look at this. When you're looking at newbie Ned, obviously we can tell what newbie Ned's problem is. Is he doesn't know what to do, right? Now, coasting Crystal, that's the majority of real estate agents. They're in feast or famine, okay? Feast or famine. Now, what does that mean? That means 1 week you're doing good, 1 month you're doing great, the next month you're doing terrible. And then the next month you're doing real good, couple months you're doing good, then you're doing bad for 2 months. Okay, that's coasting Crystal. If that's you, that you're coasting Crystal. Now, Rockstar Rick, okay, you could be a Rockstar Rick and you can be on fire. And guess what? Your building can implode because you may not have the right tools, systems, et cetera, in place. So we're going to fix these problems today. But for now, I just want you to identify where you are. Write that down. So this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the 5 keys to your success. Whose success? Your success. 5 keys. Number 1, and if you can, write this down. Now, if you're driving, do not write this down. Okay, just listen. If you're at the gym, don't write this down. But if you can, write some of this stuff down, because I'm going to give you some golden nuggets today that are absolutely, you're going to be able to take away from this and absolutely take your trajectory to a different level with this information if you implement. Number 1, you've got a time block for lead generation. You've got to. Number 2, you've got to focus on listings. Now, I'm going to tell you what I believe, okay? And by the way, I just got to throw this in. I'm not right, guys, okay? This is not about right or wrong. You know, I was around a guy just the other day that was so opinionated. Boy, he had an opinion about everything. I'm not here to give you an opinion. I'm here to give you, I've been in this business, I've been in this game for a long time. I've been a broker for 11 years, okay? I started off at Prudential. The reason I know I took 21 listings my first 74 days is because I was at Prudential for 74 days, and before it became Berkshire Hathaway. And I was there, I took 21 listings. I'm like, and I still have the sheet of the listings I took. And I was like, wait a minute, I can go over to Remax and make a lot more money. So I went to Remax. I spent 5 years at Remax. Okay. At Remax, I became one of the top 10 Remax agents in the state of Texas. Also, while I was there, I became one of the top 7 agents in Austin, Texas, based on production, ranked by the Austin Business Journal out of about 9,800 agents, almost 10,000 agents. My production was ranked number 7 in the city. Okay. And when that happened, I got a call from Gary Keller's office that they wanted to meet with me. So I met with Gary Keller, and I told Gary when I met with him, I said, look, because I wanted to teach. That was my big thing. I wanted to teach, train, coach, give back. That's what I wanted to do. And I had already been in the business for about 6 years at this time. And I told Gary, I said, I'm gonna give it about 3-4 years at Keller Williams, and then I'm gonna start my own company called Knolly Realty. And he was like, all right, cool. Let's do it. So we partnered up. Gary was my personal mentor at Keller Williams. I didn't stay 2 years. I didn't stay 3 years. I stayed 10 years, y'all, 10 years. And by the way, I thought it was my forever home until I found EXP. Woo, what? I'm trying to tell you, when I found EXP, game over. It was like, and by the way, even with EXP being as good as it is, it took me 100 days to research to see, because I was like, this can't be true. It's too good to be true. But the reason I tell you that, what does that mean to you? Why is that important for you? Because I'm not just going to stand up here and give you my opinions. Okay. We're not just hanging out, me telling you my opinions. I'm telling you honest to God information that I've found to be true. And those of you that are veterans in the room right now listening to me, you know this to be true as well. But I want to basically take a learning curve about a 5 to 7 year. We can cut 5 years off your learning curve. Let's do it. Why not? So number one, time block for lead gen. Number two, focus on listings. Number three, you got to tap the quantum field. Okay. Too many agents are not doing that and they're not getting the success. Number four, master the 8 pillars. Okay. Master the 8 pillars. And number five, you got to become a master. You got to become a master. Now, how is this stuff highlighting? Somebody's highlighting this for me. Oh, that's gangster. All right, whatever y'all doing, keep doing it. All right, so now I told you what it is. Now I'm gonna kind of walk you through each of these. And by the way, if you guys have a question for Uncle Knolly at any time, put it in the chat or unmute yourself and just talk. Okay. Sometimes if I'm on a roll, you got to keep Knolly, shut up, because I get on a roll, y'all. Let me see if there's any chat. Okay, I don't see any. I'm going to be checking the chat periodically. So if you do have something that you want to tell me, just pop it in the chat. We'll get to it. All right. So now, how did these lines get up in my? Hold on. Is that me doing that, or you guys are trying to throw me off my game? Kathy, you see those lines there on the screen?
I do, and I believe that they're able to mark it up. So whoever is playing around with the screen.
Oh, they are able to mark it up? Oh my goodness. Okay. That's pretty cool though. That is pretty cool that you could do that. But yeah, stop doing that. All right, let me get back to. Hey, I like that you guys are paying attention though. That means a lot to me. All right, so let's get on. So number one, and I'm going to go through these in order so that you guys can really digest this stuff. So number one is do the 2. Okay, you got a time block for lead generation every single day, and that's every single day from Monday, or that's Monday through Thursday from 9 to 11. Okay, we call that do the 2. Okay, do the 2. Now, do the 2 is super duper important. This is what's going to lead you guys to millions. Okay, if you want to have, so I made my first $1 million when I was 29 years old. Okay, I'm 50 now. Okay, now actually when I was 29, I made $2 million that year. Okay, and I've made millions and millions and millions of dollars since then. This is my number one strategy. People always ask me, Knolly, could you give me your best strategies? If I only had, and this is how I came to this class today. I said, if I only had 90 minutes ever, like if I never talked to you again, what would we talk about for those 90 minutes? Okay. And that's the information I'm giving you right now. Number one, you got to do the 2, because here's the reason. In order, you have to do the 2 because too many people are trying to track their closings. In fact, I want you to write this down. Don't track closings. By the way, I do want you to track closings, but I don't. And here's what I mean. Closings are not your most important metric. Let me say it again. Closings are not your most important metric. Your most important metric is your appointments. Okay? Your appointments, period. Because closings only happen, listen to this, closings only happen after you have an escrow. And escrows only happen after you get a contract. And a contract will only happen after you get a listing. We're talking about listings, y'all. After you get a listing, then you can get, you got to get an offer first, right? Then once you get, in order to have an offer, you got to have a listing. And in order to have a listing, you got to have a prospect. And in order to have a prospect, you have to lead generate. And the only way you're going to lead generate, okay, let me say this again. The only way that you're going to lead generate is if you time block. because if you don't time block, you won't do it, period. This is my #1 success strategy, and this is what I do every single day, and what I have done every single day since I got in the game, since I got in the real estate game. So do the two. So Monday through Thursday from 9 to 11, you're lead generating for seller listing leads. Okay. Now, what are you doing on Friday? Huh? What are we doing on Friday, y'all? Good students? What are we doing on Friday? Huh? You guys know what we do on Friday. Come on, somebody's got to know what we do on Friday. All right, now, chat box. What are we doing on Friday, y'all? I'm going to wait for somebody to tell me what we're doing on Friday. And we're still going to do the two. We're going to do it on Friday, but what are we doing? Let me see what we got here. Going on appointments? Nope. Attraction, baby. Oh, look at that. Attraction. Showing homes? No. Going on appointments? No. Agent attraction? Yeah, baby. So we do the two on Fridays. When you do your two, hey, you guys are good students, though. I appreciate everybody for participating. So here's what I want you to remember. Monday through Thursday, this is what I teach my group. Monday through Thursday, you do the two for lead generation. That's from 9 to 11. Now, some people can't do 9 to 11, and I get that because you might work a regular job, one of them regular jobs. We're going to get you away from that regular job soon, right? But if you got a 9 to 5 or you got another job, another gig, you can't do it. But if you can, you want to do from 9 to 11 every single day. And there's only 3 things that you can do during your lead gen time, okay, during your time block. Number 1, you're going to generate new prospects, new seller prospects, okay? We're talking about listings, baby. So generate new seller prospects. You're going to follow up with existing prospects, and you're going to generate and implement marketing plans. Or you can say create and implement marketing plans. Let me say it again. Number 1, you're going to create new prospects, new seller prospects. You're going to follow up with seller prospects that you already have in the pipeline, and you're going to create and implement marketing plans. That's it. So guess what? If a client calls me and says, hey, we scheduled the closing on the house at 10 o'clock, guess what? I'm not going to be there because I'm lead generating every day from 9 to 11, baby. Now, theoretically, I could go to the closing and bump, but I won't, because everybody in my world knows that from 9 to 11, I have a standing appointment. So if we're going to do a closing and you want Knolly there, it's got to be after 11 o'clock and give me some drive time. So 11:30-ish and on. Okay. Now, a listing appointment. Am I going to go on a listing appointment during my lead gen time? Yes or no? Let me see what you got. Put it in the chat box. Am I going on a listing appointment during my lead generation time? No. Yeah. All right. You guys are tracking with me now. So somebody says, man, I want to list my house. Can you come over tomorrow at 10? You know what? I have an appointment tomorrow at 10, but I'll be done by 11. I could be there by 11:30. Would that work? Oh, it won't work. How about 1 o'clock? You see, when you hold yourself accountable, see, if you don't have anybody holding you accountable, that's why you're not reaching your goals. Okay. And we'll talk about the accountability piece in a minute. That's so important, guys. So important. All right. So do the two. That's Monday through Thursday. You get that. Now, when you do the two, you're going to focus on the 3 buckets. You guys already know that I teach the 3 lead buckets. So we won't go into depth on this. I've got tons of videos on this, tons of training, but it's your sphere of influence, your farm, and your niche. Those are the 3 buckets you're going to be going after. Okay. That's where all your leads are going to come from. So if you want to get 6 listings a month, okay, I took 10 listings a month, okay, for over 10 years in a row. So I'm not telling you anything that can't be done. And by the way, I'm nobody special. I'm going to show you just how unspecial I am in just a moment. So with these 6, you can get 6 a month if you got 3 from your sphere of influence, 2 from your farm, and 1 from your niche. And if you wanted 10 listings a month, you would get 5 from your sphere of influence, 3 from your farm, and 2 from your niche. Okay, that's how you're going to get 6 to 10 listings a month. Okay, don't tell me it can't be done, because I know it can, because I've done it. I did it for 10 years in a row. And by the way, if you're lead generating every single day for 2 hours, you're going to be setting some appointments, baby. You're going to be setting some appointments. All right. So somebody's asking me, this is this Tama? She said, how do you know or figure out what your niche is? Okay. So I've got a lot of resources for you guys. Number one resource. Okay, Tama. Is it Tama or Toma? I might be saying that wrong. But your number one resource, success
yeah,
with listings.
It's Tama.
Tama, what's up, Tama? All
Hey.
right. So I like your question, Tama. I'm gonna answer it right now. So number one, success with listings, baby. That's what you need. This book right here. How do you get it? It's free. Can y'all spell free? Huh? It's a 4-letter word. Free, baby. So all you got to do, go to Knolly.com, my name. If you know how to spell my name, it's weird, I know. KNOLLY.com. Go to Knolly.com. Don't go there now. Stop it. Don't go there now. But just write it down, go to Knolly.com, and you can get this bad boy absolutely for free. I went ahead and made it free about a year ago because, they only pay me like $1 per book. I'm like, man, I don't keep your dollar. I don't want your dollar. So I just make it free. Now, if you absolutely want the book in your hand, you can get it on Amazon. But this is 430 pages, okay? And there's 5 chapters in here, Tama, that talk about, and their chapters 6 through 10 talks nothing but about lead generation, okay? And I go through all the niches that I can think of. Niches are far and wide, guys. There's, when you talk about niches, and I list a whole bunch of them in here. We talk about overcoming your fear of prospecting. I mean, everything is in here because people would always be wanting to pick my brain. And I got tired of people picking my brain, so I picked it myself. Took 430 pages, but this is a reference manual so that you can really, really hit that level of success. So here's what I have here in the book. I say, what will you specialize in? Now, here's what I want you to remember, though. First, you got to hit your sphere of influence. And I have a very specific method for doing that. It's an 18-touch system that's super duper easy and it's free. It doesn't cost you a dime to do. Number 2, you got to get your farm rocking. You got to rock your farm. Now, by the way, your farming is absolutely free as well. Doesn't cost you any money to farm, okay, with my method, because I teach you how to get sponsors to pay for all your farming. Okay, many of you have already adopted my training on that. Now, once you have your sphere of influence going, and then once you have your farm rocking, you got maybe 500 or 1,000 houses in your farm, then you start with your niche. You go to your niche. And your niche could be for sale by owner, expired, homes with pools could be a niche, REO bank owned, luxury, homes on one or more acres, short sales, new construction, golf course communities, first-time home sellers, seniors, farm and ranch, one-story homes, waterfront, condos, homes without building, divorce, probate, investment properties, land tracts. I mean, it goes on and on. You get the idea. So if you want to pick a niche, this is the book you want right here. I got one other book for you that you absolutely need, Tama, and it's this one right here. It's called Triple My Listings, okay? This is also free, but we ship it to you. We ship you the hard copy, and you pay the shipping, okay? You pay the shipping. You go to Knolly.com, and you can get this bad boy. Now, the reason I wrote this is because I have a revenue share group here at EXP we call Mentorship Masters. And my masters, I would always be telling them, do the two. Then they come back to me, man, Knolly, I'm in my lead generation bunker. I call it a lead generation bunker. That's what you want to create. And when you're in your lead generation bunker, ain't nobody messing with you, okay? You cannot emerge. You can take a bio break, like maybe once an hour, but you cannot emerge from your lead generation bunker until you hit your time, okay? You punch in, just like, look, when you used to, everybody knows how to time block. So don't give me that excuse. I know you know how to do it. So this is, my we call Mentorship Masters. They kept asking me, man, what do I do when I'm in my lead generation bunker? I said, okay, I'm gonna give you 27 marketing ideas for free seller leads. So this just goes one after another, Tama. Idea number 1, idea number 2, okay, idea number 3, 4, 5, I mean, you name it. You got 27 ideas all the way through, okay? And by the way, here's what you got to remember. You want to write this down. You have to lead generate to your personality profile. Ooh, I'm going to give you time to write that one down, boy. That's big. Let me say it again. You have to lead generate to your personality profile. If not, you're going to hate it. If you're lead generating and you don't love it, you're doing something wrong. See, when I go to lead generate every single day, I love it. A gal asked me just the other day, said, I do my lead generation and I keep calling during 9 to 11, but I can't find anybody at home. I said, well, who told you to make a phone call? See, I have 27 tactics. Only 3 of these involve talking on the phone. I got news for you. I don't like talking on the phone. Personally, I don't like it. I just don't. Not that I'm part of that generation, because I'm not. I'm 50 years old. I just don't like it. And so I do other things. So I like to do YouTube videos. I like to do stuff like we're doing right now. So I do a lot of stuff like that. And right now I'm a recruiter. That's what I do full time, right? So I'm an attractor, I should say. And so I'm constantly out there putting out messages, and most of it's just free content. Okay. So there is, I guarantee you, well, let me say it one last time, then I'm going to move on because we have a lot of ground to cover. Lead generate to your personality profile. If you don't, you're going to hate it. If you get in your lead generation bunker and you don't like what you're doing, you're not lead generating to your personality profile. That's huge. That's the reason why I never liked bold. People are like, well, let's go to bold. Bold is good. Okay. When Diana Kokoska came up with bold, I was in the room. I was a MAPS coach back then. And I was there when she introduced bold for the first time. And she had her notebook. She said, hey, I got this new program called bold. Those of you that were at Keller Williams know what bold is. I never liked it because I'm not a high D. I'm a low D. I'm super low on the D, right? So I just didn't, I didn't like any of those tactics. I did my own tactics that were more from my profile. See, whenever I'm tested out, I never test out as a mega listing specialist. I get the lowest marks you can imagine, the lowest score possible as a mega agent. And by the way, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm less than 1. I'm like a 1/2. Okay. So I shouldn't even be a mega agent, but what I've learned to do is lead generate to my personality profile. When I used to do a lot of expireds, you know what I would do? I was afraid to get on the phone, so I wouldn't call them. But I did some postcards, baby. I did letters. I did all kinds of stuff, but I would not make a phone call, okay? And I did tons of business just doing it that way. Okay, so that's, all right, so the next one, yeah. And this is Alicia is saying free is for me. That's right, baby. Everything that I teach is either is what we call low to no cost. Okay. It's got to be low or no, or we ain't doing it. Right. What lead generation program would I suggest? It's right here, baby. This is the one I suggest right here. Okay. Triple my listings, free seller leads. I've never paid for leads. I don't pay for leads. Okay. I've never bought a Zillow lead ever in my life. Okay. God's honest truth. It's just not part of my program. You have enough, there is enough business. For those of you that have already read my stuff and you know how I get my leads, because I reveal how I do it. And there's even a YouTube video out there for y'all don't like to read. I got YouTube videos out there for how I generate leads. So there's tons and tons of information about that. So let me just show you one right here real quick. So if you go to, don't do this now, y'all. Behave. Don't do this now. But if you go to, in fact, let me just open up my YouTube account. I'm going to show you my favorite one. Sorry, I got these toolbars all over the place, so I can't see. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm going to go to my YouTube account, and by the way, every one of you should be subscribing to my YouTube channel. That's a shameless plug because I put out a lot of good content for you to succeed. All right, so this is it right here. Look at this video right here. It's called How to Get Listing Leads. Okay, can I make it any more plain for you? How to get listing leads. It's a 30-minute video. Go watch that video, okay? And that's going to tell you how to do it. I don't have the time to really get into it on this call, but just trust me. If you get my books, you watch my videos, you're going to learn how to do this. It's very, 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 I make it very simple for you. Now, so that's number one. Number two, focus on listings, okay? That is super simple. But when I got into the listings game, I read the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And what I learned, Gary Keller wrote it, and what he said in there was focusing on seller listings will allow you to get what you want faster and will allow you to have a life. You know, when I think about why listings, I often think about a cruise, because for a while there, I know right now cruising ain't too popular. But for a while there, boy, my wife and I'm trying to tell you, we got spoiled. We went on all kind of cruises. I'm telling you, after I did my first, there was a time in my life where I was on the hustle and grind. I was on the hustle and grind. And that's why I preach against it. You don't have to do that. Okay. I'm going to show you that you don't have to do that during our time together. But there was a point where we went on 8 cruises, I think, within 5 years, something like that. And so what I always tell people is, let's say, for example, you had 13 buyers, active buyers, pre-qualified. Ooh, we like that, boy. Maybe you already sent them through IntroLend. They're ready to go. Their stamp of approval. All you got to do is go out and find them a house. Done. Okay, you got 13 of them. Are you going on that cruise? You better unpack your bags. Okay, you're on lockdown. But I guarantee you, if you had 13 listings, we cruising, baby. I leave anytime. I don't care. Why? Because I've got stuff in inventory. It's just inventory. That's all it is. All I'm going to do is find somebody, if it's not on my team or another local agent. If you're not at EXP, you're watching this, you shouldn't be, but hey, maybe you were invited. You get another agent with your brokerage and you just have them babysit your listings in escrow. Okay. So here's the thing. When you're doing listings, you can run your business from anywhere in the world. It's the reason why we travel so much. You'll see me all over the world and I'm still taking listings, you know. Now, I will say my last year in active production, okay, I did 153 deals. Okay. Now, last year I capped, I didn't hit icon. I'm not even trying to hit icon because I'm not even trying to sell houses anymore. But one of the cool things about this business is you'll never truly retire because people, I get so many, how should we call these? Come list me's. I mean, I'm going on one right after this. The guy's ready to list. He said, hey, come list my house. I've got one that we just put on the market. Well, I got an offer on one today and one that's coming. And this is without even trying. Now, here's the thing. We're going to help you become magnetic. If you want to become a listing magnet, I'm going to help you with that too. I'm going to help you with that. So let's get to that part. So focus on listings. So what does focusing on listings do for you? Okay. If you can, write this down and let me know if this is a goal that's okay with you guys. These are 5 things that I want for you. Number 1, I want you to earn $250,000 or more a year, working 20 to 30 hours a week or less, having nights and weekends off, taking 4 to 5 vacations a year, and I want you to be debt free. Now, is that okay? Would that be okay with you? Right? This is the life that I was living. Actually, honestly, I started making over $250,000 a year. That was my 3rd year in the business, year number 3. Okay. By the way, this is what happened with me. For those of you that don't believe in having a coach, let me just tell you what happened with me. So I was 8 months in the business and I was going gangbusters. Now you got to remember, I'll tell you about my former business here in a minute, but I was 8 months in the business. I had been an entrepreneur for years before this, but I was so overwhelmed. I was in overwhelm that I hired a coach. I went to a Mike Ferry seminar, and you know how that goes. I put down my $1,000 a month, and I'm like, man, I don't have $1,000 a month. I was doing pretty good, but still, I mean, $1,000 a month is $1,000 a month. This was my 8 months in the business. Okay, 8 months in. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try this. So I started with my coach, and right away she was like, what is your goal? I said, my goal, I want to do 40 deals a year, maybe 50 deals a year. Okay. This is 8 months in the business. She said, Knolly, why don't we take that to 100 deals a year? I said, 100 deals? What? She said, yeah, Knolly. She said, I'm going to make you a promise. If you'll focus on doing 100 deals a year, you'll work not even half as much as you'll work doing 30 or 40 deals. And I said, what? Say it again. She told me again. She said, you're going to work half as much. I said, that can't be true. I said, but nevertheless, I'm only 8 months in the business. You've been doing this for a long time. You're a big coach. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to do it. So I think by my third year, I did 80 deals, or maybe my second year I did close to that. Anyway, and the point is, she was absolutely right. Okay. So that within a few years after that, I was only working about 3 hours or 4 hours a week in the business. How was I doing that? Well, I was following the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And I went 7th level in 2009 based on that model. 10 years ago, I went 7th level. And so at that point, I stopped even producing. I just had a team that pretty much did everything for me. I had a listing specialist, I had one buyer specialist, and the rest were just all admin people. Okay. And so again, I just want to share that with you because everything I've done, you guys can do that and even more. So if this is the lifestyle you want, that's where I want to take you. Number 3, you got to tap the quantum field. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all don't. The quantum field, y'all. So the quantum field, this is where God lives. Okay, the quantum field is where God lives. And people call it the universe, and they have a lot of names for it. But if you're not tapping the quantum field, you're working too hard. You are working way too hard. You know, my dad used to tell me, he said, boy, have you ever noticed that, and by the way, my dad was an immigrant. He came here when he was 18 years old. He looked around, he was like, opportunity, opportunity. A lot of us grow up in this country lazy. Not that we're lazy on this call, because I know that doesn't apply to any of y'all. But I'm saying, I see a lot of people, they come up in this country and they don't see the opportunity. My dad saw it. He came over here when he was 18 from Trinidad. And he told me, he said, boy, let me tell you something. He said, the people in this, you just look around. He said, the people that work the most make the least amount of money. And I looked, I said, Dad, that can't be true. That's dumb. That's just dumb. He said, boy, listen to me now. The people that make the most money in this system work the least. And he was absolutely right. Now, how do they do it? This is what they don't want to tell you. See, you can go to college. I don't care. You go to university, college, get your PhD, get your master's. It doesn't care. I don't care. It doesn't. As far up as you want to go, it's still part of the system. And they will not tell you that there's another game. And they're playing it, but you don't know about it. Why don't you? You don't know about it, so you don't play it, and you don't get the success. See, if you want to become a magnet for success, you got to tap the quantum field. There's no other way to do it. It's impossible without doing it. So here, and by the way, you can't show me any successful person that has not tapped the quantum field. Even if they don't know that that's what they're doing, there's no other way to succeed. You cannot become a millionaire or a billionaire without doing this, okay? So this is how I launched. I'm gonna give you guys a couple stories about how I did it, okay? Now, at the age of 23, I launched my very first business. My name back then, now I hear you laughing, DJ Rubber Dub. That was me, boy. And that's me right there. Now, I used to be a rapper, okay? That's how I started off. I didn't start off in this world as a rapper, but you know, I wanted to be a rapper since I was 13 years old. That was my goal. I got married when I was 22, started rapping. And I had already been rapping for years at that, because I started rapping when I was 13. And I became a full-time rapper, a full-time rapper when I was 23 years old. Now listen to me. Listen to me. I quit my full-time job, and became a full-time rapper. You talk about having fun, boy. And by the way, it was Christian rap. So if you see that down at the bottom, that's not explicit lyrics. It just says, warning, bass may not be suitable for average speakers. You know, we had a little fun going there. But that was my very first business. And look at how I started it. I raised $1,800 from friends and family to launch my very first company. 1,800 bucks. Guys, I didn't have any money. My wife and I were making about $1,000 a month each. She was making 1,000. I was making 1,000. Okay, so we're bringing home less than 2,000 after taxes. Okay, our rent was about 365 or 385 a month, something like that, and we could not live on one income. But I was so anxious to start my business that I made my wife. We made a promise. I said, look, and I quit my job. I didn't tell her I was going to quit. You know, sometimes, and I do not recommend this, guys. I do not advise this. Okay, I don't advise it. But sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. When I came home that day, I said, and how many of y'all have ever had a belly full? I'm done. I'm through. Can't do it no more. Now, I didn't quit my job that way because I worked for an attorney. I was a graphic designer. I had taught myself graphic design. But here's the thing. Some of you guys have been at the point where you had a belly full. You're done, right? And I was at that point. So I gave my boss at the time, I said, look, I gave him a 3-month notice, very generous 3-month notice. And I told my wife, I said, look, if you will work to support us for 1 year, okay, I guarantee you'll never have to work again. Now, I didn't know how I was going to fulfill the promise. I had no idea. And here's the thing. You don't have to know the how. Let me say it again. You do not need to know the how. That's none of your business. You know, the Almighty has a million ways he can get things done. You can talk to 25 agents. People, oh man, Knolly, how'd you get all these listings? How'd you get those listings? Look, you can talk to 25 agents and all 25 of them will have a different strategy that they use to get listings. It's not rocket science, guys. But here's the cool thing. You can do it your way. Huh? You can do it the way that suits you. There's a guy, I think he was out of Dallas. Can't remember exactly where. You know how he got all his business? Making millions of dollars in business, by the way. Big luxury homes. You know what he did? He would volunteer a couple of days a week at the school cafeteria. Okay. And by the way, his family went to school with the rich kids. So what he would do is he would volunteer serving mashed potatoes. Okay. Scoop them up, bang, put them on the plate. Scoop them up, bang. I can't remember his name, but let's say his name's Kenny. This is a true story. So all the kids knew Kenny because he served the mashed potatoes on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's how they knew him. And you know what? They would go home and tell their parents, yeah, Mr. Kenny served us mashed potatoes today. Well, who's Mr. Kenny? Oh, he's a real estate agent. Oh, he is? Well, maybe he can sell our house. That's how he got the majority of his business, serving mashed potatoes at a rich kid's school. You can't tell me there ain't a whole lot of ideas of how to get business in this business. There is plenty to go around, and there's a ton of ideas out there, guys. Okay, you got to tap the quantum field. Let's get back to it. You got to tap the quantum field. And I see some questions coming in, so I'm gonna get to them in a minute. So I didn't have any money, so I raised. Now get this, I didn't borrow $1,800. I just asked people if I could have some money. I need $50 from here, $100 from there, and I told my wife, I said, if you'll let me start this business, you'll never have to work again. God's honest truth. She worked by herself to support me and my new business for 11 months. Okay. At about 11 months and 2 days, more or less around that time, she started with me full-time, became a full-time employee, not employee, but business partner with me. We had 2 people working at the company. It was a president with me and a vice president with my wife. And she has never had to work again. Okay. At that time, I was 24 years old when she quit working, and I'm 50 now, 26 years old, been keeping my promise, baby. And that's how we did it. But we tapped the quantum field to do it. Now watch this real quick. Now, 3 years later, I bought my first house. I'm gonna tell you how this happened. I was 26 years old, and I made a sketch because by then I was making a lot of money in the music business. Not a lot of money, but pretty good money. I was making enough, but the music business is a tough business to make a profit at. But I was making good money. So I got pre-qualified to buy my first house, $400,000. I was 26 years old, $400,000. This was in 1996. So what did I do? I made a sketch of exactly how I wanted my house to be. I wanted a 6 to 10,000 square foot home. I wanted to have an office on the property, etc. Why? Because I was already renting an office space for 3,000. By now, our staff had grown. We were renting office space for $3,000. And I was renting that house for about $500 a month that it had grown up to at this point, maybe about 400 and something a month. So I was spending almost 3,500 a month in rent. And this guy convinced me, and this gal convinced me, real estate team, that we should buy a house. So we got pre-qualified, and I made a sketch. Look at this. This is my first sketch that I made. I made this sketch when I was 26. Then I made this sketch. I said, this is what I want my house to look like. And where did I put that sketch? I put it before the Almighty God. I threw it out in the quantum field. I said, that's what I want my house to look like. Now, this is the original sketch that I made when I was 26. Look at the house that came on the market, y'all. Look at this. You can't tell me that ain't God right there. The sketch, look at the sketch and look at the house. I mean, it's creepy, okay? It's creepy. Did you know, let me just say this right now. Did you know that you can actually, scripture says that we can make our requests known? We can make our requests known. Did you know that? It's just like you go to a restaurant. I was at a restaurant yesterday. So the person hands you a menu. There's your menu. Ma'am, what will you have? Okay. Now, the universe is waiting to take your order. They're not hearing nothing. Are you going to eat today? Are we going to take an order? See, you're not asking. You got to make your request known. You got to let it be known what you want. You got to know what you want. Some of you guys listening to me right now don't even know what you want. So how can you ask for it? You go to a restaurant, they say, sir, what do you have? Well, I don't know. Well, I'll be right back then. They go serve on another table. Okay? They go serve. Sir, are you ready yet? Well, I still don't know what I want. All right, well, we'll be right back. Okay? And that's what the universe is doing to you, because you don't know what you want. You're not placing an order, and your order will never get delivered because you're not placing an order. Okay? Now, just imagine you get in the back of a cab. Okay? Let's say you forgot about Uber. You just jump in the back of a cab because it's convenient. And you give that person half a dozen different addresses. Okay? Take me here. No, take me there. Oh, no. Hold that. Then they get a block down the road. No, take me here instead. You get 3 blocks down the road. No, I changed my mind. Take me over here. You know what that cab driver's going to do? Kick you out. Kick you out because you don't know what you want. And many of you, when you're making your request known to the universe, that's exactly what you're doing. It's like jumping in the back of a cab, giving them half a dozen different directions, and you don't even know what you want. So the universe will never deliver it for you. I knew what I wanted. You see that? I knew what I wanted. I put it down on paper and I got it. Okay. It was delivered just like that. Now, by the way, I didn't even have the down payment for this house. That's a whole nother story. We don't even have time for that. How God gave me that. By the way, at this house, let me tell you a story that happened. This is a very interesting story. So when I got that house, okay, and by the way, I was not buying a house to be braggadocious or nothing. I needed a house because at this time we had like 7 employees. We grew to 14 employees, okay, and we had 18 artists, 14 full-time employees, okay, 18 artists on the label. The payroll was $42,000 a month for the payroll, okay. We were making over $150,000 a month in that business. Eventually, okay, I'm going to show you how that happened. But when I bought that house, it was only because my business was expanding, and I figured, hey, the president of the United States works from home. Why can't I? I might as well work from home. So instead of renting an office building for $3,000 a month, which is what I was paying, I just wanted to put it all into one thing. And so I sectioned off a part of the house and made that, you know, for the offices, studios, and all that. Eventually, we outgrew that, and we built a recording studio on the property. We built an office building on the property as well. But I want to tell you this story. So about a week, maybe not even that long, I was in the property, maybe a couple of days. This guy, now Lloyd Steele was the guy that sold me the house, okay? And Lloyd called me, he said, Knolly, there's a tractor at the house, and I got this guy that's coming to pick up the tractor. Are you cool with us going ahead and closing on the house? Okay, now this came through his his agent or whatever, but to my agent. But he was like, "Are you cool with closing on the house, and then that he can come pick up the tractor?" I was like, "Cool, I don't care. Keep the tractor there. When the guy comes, I'll let him have the tractor. Give him the keys, whatever." So this guy comes in, Okay, this is a crusty old Texan. Okay, if you ain't been in, if you never been to Texas, y'all, you ain't seen a crusty old Texan till you seen this dude that showed up to pick up that tractor. The guy looked like he'd been on the tractor since he was 8 years old, and he looked probably about 75. And he looked at me, and now mind you, now I'm 26 years old. I'm a kid. Now at the time, I'm not thinking nothing of it. That's my new house. So big. So what? But we had 10 acres. Okay. So when you got all the way to the front of the property, you're looking at that house in the distance. Woo, I'm trying to tell you, it looked really nice, but I wasn't thinking about it that I was a businessman. That's all it was for me. It's a business decision. So when the guy came, I'm walking out, I'm grungy because we've been moving in boxes and doing all this kind of stuff. And so they told me, they said, hey, one of my staff members, he said, hey, this guy's over here to pick up the tractor. So I went out to meet him. And he said, I said, yes, sir. How can I help you? Here's the keys. He said, well, is the owner around? I said, sir, I'm the owner. I got to tell you guys, if you would have seen the look on this guy's face, I had a grunged out t-shirt, grungy shorts, okay? I'm 26 years old, little black kid, okay? We can say it here. Little black kid comes out, 26-year-old punk, comes out talking about, you the owner? And so the guy, and this is stay with me for the rest of my life. The guy looked at me like this. And he looked at me, and he looked at the house, and he looked at me again, and he looked at the house again, and this is what happened. He put his head down and he just shook it. He just shook it. He said, a man can work his whole life and not get something like that. You see, he had been told that you had to work your whole life, and you had to scrimp, and you had to scrape, and you had to work hard. Okay, that you had to hustle, you have to grind, you got to get it, you got to go get that. That's what he had been told. So here he is, 75 years old, still trying to chase that dream. And here I am, 26 years old. I'm just doing my thing. Another house I bought. Okay, I've owned a number of homes since then. So here's the point I'm trying to make. People are putting stuff in your head, and you're allowing them to put it in your head. It's crap. It's garbage. And you're allowing it to stay in your subconscious mind. You got to clean it out. You got to start thinking differently. If you want the success that you say you want, you got to start thinking different. And that's very, very critical. So let's keep moving here, guys, because now by the time I was 29, I made my first million. They did a big article on us about that. And we actually made $2 million that year. Okay, I got picked up by EMI Capital. Okay. We were featured on all kinds of newspapers, CBS, ABC, Fox, AP, and all that. The $1,800 seed had grown into $150,000 a month. I got in, but here's the thing. By the time I was about 33, I was 33 years old. No, 32. I lost everything. Okay. I lost everything. I lost that house, lost it. And by the way, I lost that house through disobedience. That's a whole nother story, y'all. I don't have time for it. But the Lord had told me to pay that house off. And I had the opportunity when I was 29 years old. I'll tell you the story real quick. I was 29 years old, and I had just gotten signed to EMI Capital. They gave me a $650,000 signing bonus. Okay. Actually, it wasn't a bonus. It was an advance. Okay. Now, what is an advance? Huh? What's an advance? Y'all know about Commission Express? Huh?
A loan.
That's what it was. What's an advance?
A loan?
A loan. You got it. They loaned me $650,000. You got it. But I'm thinking, ooh, I got money. Oh yeah. And back then, the music business, that's chump change. You know, nowadays these guys, I mean, it's crazy. But so they gave me, the first check was $300,000. Then they gave me another check, $150,000. And then they gave me another check for it was like $650,000 total. And so what did I do? See, I had promised the Lord that I would pay that house off whenever he gave me the opportunity. He specifically, I was in the study one time, I was in meditation, and God told me, he said, son, I'm gonna bless you to pay off this house, but you're gonna have to be obedient. You know what I said? I said, Lord, I'll do whatever you tell me. Now, when the money came, did I do it? Heck no. I said, man, I'm not gonna pay off my house. I owed about $330,000. I said, I'm not gonna pay off my house. Why would I pay off my house? That's stupid. I can invest this money and I can quadruple it. Because see, EMI had promised us that they were going to blow it up. Didn't happen, but they promised that it would happen. And what happened? We spent all the money, we lost it. Okay. So several years later, here it is, I'm almost homeless. I sold that house by the skin of my teeth, and we got out of it, and I jumped in the real estate game. That's how I got in the real estate game. Okay. Yeah, you forgot to pay taxes. Look at this. Somebody says, Adam says, feeling rich, you forgot to pay taxes. You know, that's true. I forgot. I didn't forget to pay taxes. I just didn't pay them. I didn't forget. I just didn't pay. So yeah, all this stuff happened. But here's the thing. I got in the real estate game with my tail tucked between my legs, but I sold over 1,000 homes during my first 10 years in the business. Why? Because I had already learned to tap the quantum field. I learned to tap the quantum field when I was 18 years old. An incident happened to me. I don't think we have time for it on this one, but an incident had happened to me where I learned to tap the quantum field, and I have been tapping in the quantum field ever since. So here's what I want you to do. On a blank piece of paper, I want you to write down how much income you want to make per year. Okay, write it down. Do this. How much money do you want to make each year? Write that down. Okay, now, next to it, I want you to write how much income you currently make per year. How much do you currently make? Okay, so now look at the difference there, guys. This is how much you want to make. This is how much you make. What's the difference? You don't have to put it in the chat, but just contemplate that for a minute. And what is the difference between what you want or what you say you want and what you get, what you're getting? Okay. I tell you, the big difference, guys, is mindset. Okay. And the question I always ask people is, what is your current mindset costing you? Let's say you want to make $10,000 a month, but you're only making 5,000. Your current mindset is costing you $5,000 a month. That's expensive. Let's say you want to make 20,000 a month and you're only making 10. Your mindset is costing you $10,000 a month. Okay. All right. Let me see. I see some chats in here. Oh, he said, sign me up for the Quantum Field book. I'm gonna give you some good books. Here, I'm gonna show you this. Now, this stuff is not hard to learn. And by the way, it doesn't cost a lot of money to learn this. Here's my favorite book for tapping into the quantum field. It's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. That's by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Now, Dr. Murphy wrote this book. I'm gonna show it to you. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy. Some of this stuff you're gonna have to go back on the video and rewind, because we're laying down some stuff for you guys. And but this book was written in 1963, and this man knew what he was talking about. Joseph Murphy was born in hold on. First edition, 1955. Okay, this man was born in 1898. He knew a couple things. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. That's the first one. So this is the book that you really want to get to change the way you think. Now they do have it on Audible too. There's another book that I recommend. This one right here. You may not be ready for this one yet, but when you're ready, it's called Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender. That's Dr. David Hawkins. Okay. Now, show it to you again. Letting Go, Dr. David Hawkins. Easy to find, both on Amazon. In this book right here, Triple My Listings, in the very back of the book, those of you that have it already, if you don't have it, go to Knolly.com. You get it. We ship it to you, pay the shipping. But I have my top 20 books. Okay. So those of you that want to really get into this stuff and geek out on it. But I'm giving you the basics. This is the kind of stuff that you need to know at least exists. Because if you don't know this stuff exists, see, we've been lied to, guys. We've been lied to. We've been told, go to school, get you a degree, all this kind of crap. Now, I'm not against going to school. If somebody wants to go to school, they want to become a lawyer, a doctor, there's reason, there's stuff out there. There's a reason for you to do that. But I guarantee you, most of the people that have degrees, I've had a lot of them come work for me, okay? I work in the quantum field. That's where I live, okay? Now, in 1921, Albert Einstein won the Nobel Prize for his work in what we call quantum physics. And when you look at quantum physics is the study of the thing at an atomic level, a subatomic level, I should say. Not an atomic level, a subatomic level. See, scientists used to be arrogant. They say, oh, the atom is the smallest thing there is. Then they were like, wait a minute, we got electrons up in here. Hold on. And then now they're finding nanoparticles, dark matter, all kinds of stuff. You don't have to geek out on it too much. Just realize that there's a field of consciousness and there is a quantum field that you can tap into it. It's there for the asking. This is Nikola Tesla. By the way, Albert Einstein did not discover quantum physics. He just got a Nobel Prize for his work in quantum physics. And this is what Albert Einstein discovered, okay, which is also the one that discovered electricity, Edison. They both said the same thing, okay? Just like your cell phone, I'm just gonna lay this on you and I'll leave it like that. Just like your cell phone transmits signals, okay? The mind transmits signals. Oh, Knolly, how is that possible? Well, how is radio possible? How are you listening to me right now? Just explain how that's possible, okay? I got a little microphone in front of me. I'm in Austin, Texas. I don't know where you are, but you can hear me. You can see me and hear me. How is that possible? You mean to tell me this stuff is going through thin air? Yes, it's flying through the quantum field. Okay, how do you get a picture, a moving picture and audio through thin air? Just explain how that happens. Okay, once you figure out how that happens, let me explain to you what really happens. According to Albert Einstein and according to Thomas Edison, by the way, they don't even know how this stuff works. Do you know they still don't know how electricity works? They just know it works, so they use it. That you just use what it's there, it's working. I don't know how it works. So what they would say, what they taught was, and what they studied was that the brain sends out vibration, okay, signals, okay, and that the Homo sapiens sends out signals from his brain. So when you go on a listening appointment and you're feeling like, man, I may not get this one, you know what you're sending out? I don't want it. Don't send it to me. I'm not good enough. My mom said I'd never make it. Who am I? Who am I to think that I can go on this listing? You know, I'm not gonna, put my picture on my business card. I don't even like the way I look. That's what a realtor told me this week. I put my picture on everything. Okay, why not? It's my body. It's not like, look, your body, your body is a garage where you temporarily park your soul. That's Wayne Dyer. Let me say it again. Your body is nothing more than a garage where you temporarily park your soul. But hey, it's the only place you ain't living nowhere else while you're here. You might as well take good care of it and look after it. Why not? All right, so let's get on to it because I got a lot to share with you guys. And all right, so that's in 1921. Now look at Nikola Tesla. He said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay, that's where God lives, guys. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. That's Jesus. Okay, y'all know that one. And by the way, I can spend 30 minutes just talking about this one verse right here and breaking it down. Now, what's this book called? Is it called Hustle and Grow Rich? Is it called Grind and Grow Rich? Huh? What's it called? Think and Grow Rich. Okay. See, people, we knew those that were the elite. Let me just say it this way. The elite knew that there's a certain way to do things in this universe. Now, they didn't necessarily teach those secrets to us, but they knew they existed. Okay. Now, look at this. Somebody has their mic unmuted. Did somebody want to ask me something? Okay, so if you don't have anything to ask me, just go ahead and mute yourself in your toolbar. Just go ahead and click on your microphone and that'll mute you. Okay, so look at this, guy, Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Okay, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Thoughts are things, and powerful things at that. When mixed with definiteness of purpose and burning desire, can be translated into riches. That's Napoleon Hill. And that's God's honest truth. Okay, let me see. Somebody out there is, let me see if I can find out whose mic is on. Okay, well, here we go. Is that Casey? Casey, can you mute yourself? Do you know how to do that? Casey, can you hear me? Okay, let me hold on a second, guys. We got a wanderer here, y'all. So hold on one second. Okay, so hopefully that helped it. So here's another one from Earl Nightingale. You become what you think about most of the time. Okay, whatever you think about most of the time, that's what you become. Okay, and some of you guys got the wrong kind of thoughts going on. Now, number 4. So tap the quantum field. That's number 3. We'll review these in a minute. Number 4 is you got to master the 8 pillars. You got to master the 8 pillars. And I'm going to go through these real quick because I teach these in a lot of videos, so we don't have to go in depth here. But number 1, mindset. Then you've got activities, people, systems, tools, money, accountability, and training. Now, here's the thing. Mindset we've been talking about already. Activities, that's your lead generation. People, systems, and tools, PST, we call that leverage. Leverage, okay? People, systems, and tools. Then money, most of you have a, let me ask you a question. Who taught you what you know about money? Think about that for a minute. Who taught you what you currently know about money? Is that the person you should be listening to? Huh? Now, let me say this. Yeah, hard knocks. Adam said hard knocks. Let me say this. Most of us have not been educated about money. That's why we don't understand money. See, we live in a fiat system. And if you can't understand money, you're not even on first base. All you're going to be doing is chasing your tail, round and round and around and around and around. Okay. You need to become the author of your life. Okay. If you don't make decisions for your own life, somebody else is going to make them for you. I guarantee you that. All right. So Adam said, Paul said, if you are rich or poor, we need to learn to be satisfied. That's right. This is one of the keys to life, is to learn to be satisfied with much or little. Now, here's the thing on that, Paul. We'll talk about that in a minute. To be satisfied with much or little, serving the Lord and being satisfied with what the Lord has allowed. I agree, mindset can help, but only to the Word of God and submitting. As far as Tesla's concerned, I tell people that they look and sound the same on video and print, and they do in real life. The only person surprised. Oh, this is okay. So this is just a note for Adam to me. So here's the thing, Adam. Yeah, people say all the time, man, I'm going to be content with what God gave me. I guarantee you, 80 to 90% of Americans, I'm not talking about other countries right now, but 80 to 90% of Americans, and many of you listening to me right now, what you have is not even what God gave you. Oh, I'm going to be satisfied with what God gave me. God didn't give you that. God, here's how God put it down. He said, man, here's what I did. He said, I gave one dude 1 talent. I gave another guy 5, and I gave another one 10. And the one that I gave 1 talent, what did he do? He squandered it. He didn't do nothing with it. Now, the reason why I can say that safely, say that 80%, probably more, of Americans are not even doing what God told them to do, people in the church. Why? Because according to a Gallup poll, 150,000 Americans that were polled said 70 to 80% of people either hate or dislike their jobs. Okay. So they're doing something that they're not even, you cannot dislike what God put you on earth to do. When you have a passion, when God put you on earth to do something, you don't dislike that. Now you might be like Jonah for a minute, try to duck out, but you're going to get a hook back in your mouth. You're going to come back to your job. See, every one of us was put in this realm for a very specific reason. And most of us are not fulfilling our purpose. That's God's honest truth. So with that said, now Paul was saying, see, here's what Paul also said. He said, if you want to be, if you want to just be like spot on, just follow what I do. That's what Paul said. Now, can any of us on this call just tell people, look, if you want to be perfect, just do what I do and you'll be perfect. Okay. See, Paul was trained by Gamaliel. Paul was actually an attorney. He was the strictest of the strict. When you talk about a Pharisee, and he brought that over. He brought that zeal and passion, so much so that he was on point with God's will for his life. So Paul was able to say, hey, I've learned to be content in any situation, whether I have much or little. Why? Because he knew it was from God. You know, the Holy Spirit told Paul one time, he said, here's how the Holy Spirit did it. He said, Paul, we going right here. Now, just imagine this is a map. Okay. Just imagine this is a map. So he said, Paul, we going right here. Paul was like, cool, we going right there. That's cool. So you know what the Holy Spirit did? The Holy Spirit took him like this, all the way around to get to it. Why? Because he said the Holy Spirit did not permit him to take the straight route. Why that's true, we don't know. But God has plans that we know not of. Most of us are not following his plan. So that's a whole nother game. That's a whole nother thing. But I do admit that if you're in the middle of God's will, you need to be content with whatever God gives you, because not everybody's meant to be rich, y'all. Okay, this is really an American thing that we can even talk about this kind of stuff. Okay, because you know it wasn't 500, 600 years ago when almost nobody could read. You know what I'm saying? Now we're talking about get the book on Audible. So yeah, it's a whole different time. I get that. So, but if you guys got to track with. Now I've been teaching the Bible since I was 18 years old. Now, 31 years Bible teacher. And I know me some scriptures. So this is mindset, activities, people, systems, tools, money. You got to have accountability. Okay. Accountability is so critical. Write this down. According to entrepreneur.com, 80% of all businesses fail. You already know that. 80% of all businesses fail. But according to USA Today, 80% of all franchises succeed, like a Chick-fil-A. Okay. Now, do you think a Chick-fil-A is going to fail? By the way, let me say this. According to National Association of Realtors, 87% of realtors fail within the first 5 years. Okay. 5 years. You're in a profession that has a 13% success rate. Okay. That's God's honest truth. 87% of all realtors will not make it past 5 years. So if you made it past 5 years, boy, give yourself a high five, huh? All right, girl, what's up? But that's the reason why I'm so passionate about getting people the right information, because they've been fed a lot of crap, a lot of garbage. And here's the thing. If you own a Chick-fil-A and your numbers start going down, what's going to happen? You're going to get a phone call from corporate. Hey, what's going on? What's happening at your store? If they keep going down, what's going to happen? You're going to get a personal visit. Somebody's going to get on a plane and they're going to be like, hey, boy, what's going on? We're going to park ourselves up in your place for like a week, and we're going to see what's happening around here, because something ain't going right. See, franchises succeed. Why? Because they have extreme accountability. And most of you don't have accountability in your life. You haven't had accountability since you were 18 years old and left home, right? And here's the thing. You will be more accountable to somebody else than you will to your own self or the God you serve. That's sad, but that's just the human condition, okay? So accountability is very important, and then training is super important. Okay, it's the reason why I read 1 to 2 books a week. Okay, very, very important to be trained up. And by the way, we have 4 bodies. This is scripture as well. We have a spiritual body, we have a mental body, we have an emotional body, and we have a physical body. Jesus himself said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your mind, and with all your might, with all your will. So, and by the way, right here in the middle, that's you, baby. That's you. And that passion, that burning desire, your big why, that's right in the middle. That's what God put you on this planet for. Most people aren't fulfilling it. They're so far off track. There's a book, I remember reading this book when I was a kid called Little Pilgrim's Progress. Or you can read the older one, Pilgrim's Progress. And it talks about a guy that went so far off track, he didn't even know how to get back. And that's where most people are, okay? It's sad to see, but it is. So, all right, so we're going to keep going. The last one. Ooh, we left off the last one, y'all. That's okay. The last one is to become a master. Okay, become a master. See, I didn't learn all this stuff just sitting around twiddling my thumbs, going on an appointment here and there. I became a master. See, I mastered my craft. I remember when I wanted to learn ClickFunnels. People ask me, man, Knolly, how you doing with your ClickFunnels? You know, I have 66 agents that I brought to EXP in my first line. And I did that in my first 14 months here at EXP. Oh, well, that you can do that because you're Knolly Williams. No, see, people don't realize that you got to tap the quantum field to do this kind of stuff. You got to tap into where God lives, and that's how you can have the kind of success. So let me go back to this. And the reason I brought that up, how does that apply to you? Because you got to become a master, guys. The reason I read 1 to 2 books a week, number one, I'm a geek. All right, I geek out. But number two, I want to master stuff. When I first started learning ClickFunnels, people were like, man, Knolly, I like your funnels. I don't know how you made your funnels like that. Okay, we got another rogue person here. Let me, somebody, oh no. All right, mute, oh, Stephanie, I'm gonna mute you. Okay, Stephanie, you're disturbing the class. So what I did, guys, and I had the time to do this because God gave me the time. When I learned ClickFunnels, I spent the summer on my back porches in 2016, ClickFunnels. If you want to learn the tools that I use, just go to knolly.com/tools. You'll get all the kind of tools that I use in my business. But when I learned ClickFunnels, I spent the summer on my back porch and I mastered it. I became a master. See, too many of us don't become a master at our craft, okay? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to become a master at what you're doing. And don't become mediocre. Be a master. Why? Look, every single one of us has 180 hours a week, okay? 180 hours a week. We all have, that's a level playing field. We have the same amount of time, okay? So you have the same chance of success and fulfilling the destiny that God gave you, whether he gave you 1 talent, 5 talents, 10 talents, it does not matter because God knows how many talents he gave you, okay? He knows how many he gave you. And the truth of the matter is we are answerable. People ask me all the time, man, Knolly, how come you share your secrets all the time? How come you tell everybody your secrets? I used to not tell my secrets. Why? Because I was stingy. I was afraid. I was living in a lack and poverty mindset. Okay. But now I share everything. If I learn something, I share it. Why is that? Because I'm answerable to an almighty God. And one day I'm going to stand before God. He's going to say, hey, boy, how'd you do? Oh, yeah. What's up? You know, I did everything you told me to do. Right. And that's how we all need to be. I mean, that's getting us closer to the goal where God wants us to be. Now, the 5 keys, we're going to review them real quick because we are almost over, y'all. Number 1, time block for lead gen. You got to do it. You got to do the 2. Number 2, focus on listings. If you want to succeed in this game, Knolly, I like working buyers. I don't care. Focus on listings. Number 3, tap into the quantum field. That's where God lives. If you're not in the quantum field, you're trying too hard. Number 4, master the 8 pillars. And number 5, you got to become a master. What's it going to take for me to finally be successful? I want you to ask yourself that question. Those of you that have been like, man, I've been trying to do this. I've been doing this for a while. What's it going to take? Huh? Now, maybe you're feeling like this right now. You know, I dropped a lot of stuff on you guys. We dropped a lot of nuggets. The Holy Spirit showed up. He showed out. We dropped a lot of nuggets on you. And so you might be feeling like this, but here's what I want you to do. Go back, listen to this again, unpack it, get the books that Uncle Knolly recommends that you get. Don't be afraid, guys. Look at here. There's only 2 paths to success, and you got to pick one. Here's the first path: $250,000 a year, debt-free, working 20 to 30 hours a week or less, nights and weekends off, 4 to 5 vacations a year. Okay. Here's the other path that I see a lot of agents on: $250,000 a year, debt-free, maybe, working 80 or more hours a week. Okay. Working most nights and weekends and no vacations. What's the difference? Well, one we call flow, and the other we call that the grind. God does not want you to be in the grind, baby. Now you can hit the grind for a while. Sometimes you got to hit that grind, right, to get your numbers up. But then you should really be coasting in the quantum field. I want to give you some free stuff because there's a whole lot more. You know, I can teach for 3 days straight. There's a lot of other free stuff. Have you received value? I know you have. You know, I've been getting value as I've been talking to you. There's 2 things I want you to do. Number 1, you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You do that, you go to knolly.com, boom, you hit that YouTube button at the very top. It's going to say subscribe to Knolly's YouTube channel. And there it is, baby. You're going to be a subscriber. You're going to get a lot of content like this because I drop stuff like this every week, right? The other thing, you can join the Knolly Club. It's absolutely free. You know, we can't let you into Mentorship Masters because that's my revenue share group, you know, but we got a lot of stuff for EXP. If you go to knolly.com, you can join for free. There's going to be a little place where you put in your first name, your email address, get started, and that's what it is. So that's what I have for you guys today. Has it been gangster or what? Huh? All right, let me see. Let me listen to some of the chats. Somebody said, Chandra said she missed church on Sunday, but Knolly is giving the word. Amen. That's what's up. Corinne said, yeah, preach it. Hey, sometimes we get to preachify now. Yes, thank you. Kimberly said, you're amazing. Thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. Hey, this has been very, 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 a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I didn't give you guys a lot of time to ask questions, but hopefully I just wanted to pack as much content as I could into this call. And hopefully it's been very, very good. I love you. I will see you on the next one. God bless.
Thank you, Knolly. Thank you, Knolly. We really appreciate it. And everyone, if you found value in this class today, I want you to go into the network and I want you to go up on the events and I want you to share at least one of your takeaways. Knolly is so profound. You laid a lot of things out and there's some great nuggets there. So we really, really appreciate your time. And I appreciate everybody taking time out of their day today to hang out with us. And Knolly, you are a whole lot of fun. I love it. Can't wait to see the shareholders.
We got to do something live, boy. That's when I can really let the beast out. Well, yes. I should say let the angel out. Put it that way. That's better.
Absolutely. Love it. So thank you so much for your time. You all have an excellent day. And Knolly, I'll wait for the recording from you.
You bet. God bless.
Have a good day.
Thank you.